Recording in progress. Oh, are we doing all from the beginning?
In the Pop Culture Cupid podcast, we talk about how pop culture influences our expectations in relationships. I'm Alison, love coach, here to help you single people find your way back to love.
Healthy communication. I'm Michelle. I help singles embrace themselves and their singleness, as well as develop a healthy self-relationship. We bring some juicy stories from our own love lives and dating, and it gets pretty interesting. Be focused, we're gonna be to the point, and no digressing.
Self-awareness. Follow, share, subscribe, enjoy.
And like and comment.
If it's shockingly bad, we just re-record another one.
Yeah, no, I think there's some good stuff that you can just nitpick. Recording in progress. Hello. It's been so long.
It's been so long. As you can tell, it's been a while.
Yeah,
I think this episode is coming out, like, we will probably be chronological order as of this episode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So maybe. Yeah, I mean, for people kind of trying to follow the chronological order.
Yeah, chronological. They get it.
My inflection is weird on that word. Anyway,
chronological order. Yeah.
Because we've just done recording the Christmas episode, but then we've got other episodes that need to be aired before this one.
Yeah. I don't think it really matters.
No, it doesn't matter.
The order.
It doesn't matter because we're not that type of podcast. There are podcasts that kind of need to have an order, but like Diary of a CEO or things like that. Like, I'm sure that's not posted in chronological order.
Yeah.
Because, he's got his planning and then the guests and everything. He also probably kind of batch records. So anyway, today we want to talk about imposter syndrome.
Yay, so fun. Yeah, I mean, it's something that I've been thinking about a lot recently because I've been feeling it a lot recently because there's been a lot of like changes in my life that are suddenly like, oh my God, I'm like, when you really like day to day, when you're not thinking about it, it's like everything feels like very natural. But like when I stop and think about it, or in certain like moments, I'm like, oh my God, is this my life? Because like you go from jumping in, especially in my relationship, like the whole first year and a half, well, more than that actually, year 8-9 months of our relationship, we were living separately. And I was living alone for a very long time. I was single for 7 years. So, while we were still living apart, a part of me still felt like I had, that single life, that single lifestyle and the mentality, because I'm still living alone. I see him mainly just on weekends. So during the week, I'm doing my own thing and working and whatever. And, to go from that to living together and seeing each other every day and just integrating our life that much more, suddenly you feel, oh my God, I'm in a fucking relationship. I'm like in this full on, pardon my French, I'm in this full on all-consuming partnership, and it's suddenly, wow, like everything feels so different suddenly. And I don't know if I'm explaining this well, but like if people have gone through it, then they'll understand it. It suddenly feels like your brain is taking time to adjust to this change. It's like it just, it's like getting the flu when the season changing, when you're in between like autumn and winter, and or summer and winter, whatever it is, but like you're just feeling like you're living someone else's life and everything feels a bit unreal,
Yeah, I think that's probably it's probably due to the fact that you have been single for 7 years, and and but had and did know what a relationship was.
Hmm.
Because I think it's different, like for different people, and we're not going to go through all of like the different types of people. But there are young people who have never been in a relationship, but because
Yeah.
there are so many things going on, then getting into a relationship is just kind of mixed up in the rest of it. And then people who kind of go relationship after relationship, or people who only have short-term relationships or things like that. And I think you, because you had that 7 year gap, but like in your mid 30s and just kind of like knowing what a relationship is, like, you kind of know what to expect.
Hmm.
It's not taking you by surprise, which is probably what's kind of stopping you from kind of taking it all in. Because I think that's the thing that you want, is you want to take it all in more than ask yourself, oh my God, what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I have been, slowly adjusting to it and taking it in and getting used to, this huge leap. Because this is my first, I've been in relationships, but this is my first time actually living with a partner. And so, you have these moments throughout the day or throughout the week where you're suddenly like, you look, there's someone
Yeah.
who's there, and there's someone and your whole life looks differently. Even if you give each other space, and even if we don't spend every moment together, it still changes your whole routine. And, especially moving away from where I was living into this whole completely different lifestyle. Well, not completely different, but like you move into like, when you're the one doing the moving, then it's a bit it's different, like when, especially if like you live, well, over here, living far away is very relative, but like um when you're the one doing the moving and bringing all your life into your partner's space, it's I think a bit more complex because you're not used to
Yeah.
this lifestyle, you're not used to this space. And Zev and I had this conversation about it where it was because we live in a very remote village where it's, there's maybe a few buses a day that come out, but like I don't have a car. So I'm like basically, and I work from home, so it doesn't matter, but I'm basically stuck here the whole day. And so Zev was like putting it like, I basically put you in this golden cage and took the key with me for good and for bad.
Yeah.
And so it's like this very strange feeling for me as someone who's so used to my freedom and being able to go where I want, whenever I want, to suddenly have these limitations. It's very strange. And I'm not complaining because I love my golden cage, but I can't, it's the best golden cage I could have asked for. But it makes you feel like suddenly, whoa, my life has taken this whole huge spin, and suddenly I feel like I'm just, I don't know, maybe I like suddenly changed, jumped into someone else's life. So,
Yeah. So maybe more, like not just imposter syndrome, but kind of also observing your life from the outside kind of thing.
hmm,
Is
yeah,
that like,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, I mean, and also it's a bigger adjustment for you than it is for him because you're going into his kind of space rather than finding a new space. And I think, are you thinking something like, I'm enjoying it, but I shouldn't be enjoying it type of thing?
no, it's not like that. I think I'm enjoying it and I'm just enjoying it. I feel like it's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like this strange feeling of sometimes like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
wondering if like other people ever felt this in their relationship where suddenly they feel like, I don't know, we're going through this huge change in the relationship, and it's like in a good way, yeah. It's like, wow, this is my life. This is amazing. This is such a great relationship. I'm like, oh my God, you know?
I think my 2 cents on this. I think it's just because you guys are taking things slow and like just taking your time and like each step, and like you're so like you're communicating really well and everything. I think that's then you have time to observe, and you have time to
Yeah.
kind of just realize what's, oh my God, where was I 7 years ago, and then 5 years ago, and then 3 years ago, and 2 years ago, and like, and you just haven't taken the time to observe. Because I was trying to think, like, have I ever felt that way? And I'm not gonna think back to other relationships, but with JT, things they did go kind of fast between him and me, and it's fine. But then I think I never really took the time to just kind of observe, which, not that I'm regretting it, but I'm slightly envious of that feeling of just like,
Mm.
and this is really fresh because yesterday I was talking to well, my therapist about it. See my therapist once a month to just kind of like check in. And yesterday that was the big topic of just like I tend to go fast, not just in my relationships, but like in every aspect of my life.
Hmm.
And so my objective is as soon as my son is born is just like 12 months of just no big changes,
Yeah.
because I want to take the time to observe, and I would like to feel what you're feeling, um, of just kind of like, oh, wow, of just observing. And I don't, I think I don't know what motherhood is gonna has installed for me, but I think that's why you're feeling it, of just like you, and I think that's really good. And as long as you're not questioning it too much, which I know you're not, but some of my listeners might be questioning it. I think you don't want to question these things. You just want to be in the moment, and just like you have the luxury of observing what's going on. I think just
Yeah.
take full advantage of it, and don't question it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's not a matter of like, because a lot of times you can look at it and you can say, oh my God, why am I feeling, I don't want to say a stranger in my relationship, but why am I feeling suddenly like I'm on the outside looking into my relationship? Why am I suddenly feeling
Yeah,
like I'm living someone else's life, or suddenly feeling like, there's this, whole new world opening up? It's instead of questioning it and looking at it as this huge, overwhelming gush of whatever it is, then you have to look at it as something like this amazing opportunity, which is actually pretty great. I actually haven't even thought of it that way. Like, I've been enjoying it, but like I haven't even been thinking about like how special it is that I get to experience this feeling, and to have the time to really, like, on the one hand it feels like it all happened all at once, and it's like, whoa, suddenly we got back
yeah,
from Thailand, 2 weeks later I'm moving in. And but then again, we've been together for almost 2 years before I moved in, so it's like and we're taking it so slow, and just like, I think you get to experience more when you take things slow. And I think this is true for everything in life. And as
yeah,
well, like, when we were in Thailand and we were taking our trip, there's two type of people in trips. There's the people who have like this full schedule and want to get as much crammed in as they possibly can. And then there's the people like us who take things slow. I'd rather do less things in a day and enjoy more of each place we go to. And when you do that, I feel like you're not thinking about all the things that you could have crammed into the
yeah,
day. You're just enjoying what is. And when you're doing too much, then you don't get to stop and think and enjoy where you are, look around you. Like the same thing in my relationship. I'm thinking about and comparing it now to, being in Thailand in this incredible place and just taking a moment, putting my phone aside, disconnecting, and oh, look where I am. And so the same thing goes for my relationship right now, where I'm suddenly going like, oh my God, now that I'm suddenly full, I'm like, I'm now full time in a relationship, where beforehand I was like, it felt like part time because we're living apart. But
yeah.
now I'm full time in a relationship. I'm in this, and I'm like looking at it, and I'm like going, what? Oh my
I mean,
God.
it's, when we say, it's funny because we're so different. Like, it's funny how we're different in these ways, and we shouldn't, like, we should. You'll see where I'm going with this, because
Yeah.
I do yoga and have a spiritual practice, and you don't do so much. Yet you're the one that practices mindfulness on your day to day, whereas I'm not. I'm
Well, I
very
don't know
much
if
of
I do
the,
it purposely, but yeah.
oh yeah, and I think if you don't do it on purpose, I think that's the best way to do it, because it's ingrained in you.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was in Thailand, I mean, I say Thailand. I was going to say it's further away from me than it is from you, but if I go to Italy or London, I would do the exact same. I'm just like, we need to do as much as
Yeah.
possible. We need
Mm-hmm.
to, optimize and everything. And like really, I've been reflecting on this for a couple of weeks now because I've been on leave, but I need to just take the time to just kind of get my bearings
Yeah.
because yeah, you either do five activities and enjoy them 5 out of 10, or you do two activities but you enjoy them 10 out of 10.
Exactly.
And it's the same, and it's the same with everything when it comes, we talk about relationships a lot, but it's the same with everything. And I'm being pregnant, I'm trying to kind of relish in the moment of just like, oh, I'm feeling him kick. And, I wasn't able to feel him kick before, and soon I won't be able to feel him kick anymore. And all of these things. And yeah, you just want to slow down. And it's funny, I think it's a theme in the world these days
Mm-hmm.
because some of the podcasts that I've listened to that have nothing to do with mindfulness or whatever, they say the same, like everything is going so fast, like can we just slow down? And I
Yeah.
think there's a general, awareness of this, and a need for things to just let's all just slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody just just take a breath. um
Yeah, because living in a technological world where your attention span is so short, and if you don't
yeah,
catch the listener or viewer in like the first 3 seconds, then they're gone. Or like you're constantly stimulated and you're constantly surrounded by so many crazy things, and people are
yeah,
just chasing one peak after the other, one rush after the other, instead of like just enjoying the. And this is what I love about where we live. It's very remote, it's very quiet, it's very slow paced, and it just you get to enjoy the quiet, peaceful life without, the hustle and bustle of the city, like, the big city. I call it like the FOMO city, where there's something going on at every hour of the day, and anyone living there has to feel like they're constantly a part of it. And you feel like if you're staying at home and doing nothing, you feel bad for not being out and experiencing everything around you.
yeah. I mean that you said it really, really well.
Oh,
And I
thank
think,
you.
if you look back later down the line, like, you're going to look back, and it's the moments that you took the time to remember that you'll remember. And
Yeah,
if you're rushing through everything, then
you're not going to remember it.
you're not going to remember much. You're going to remember like the general gist of things, but you're not going to remember like specific moments. Um,
Yeah, you're going to feel more disconnected. You don't
yeah,
take the time to actually connect with the moment, connect with the people in it.
exactly.
Uh, yeah.
And back to like meditation and mindfulness and things, like, the really kind of experts in meditation and things like that, when they are deep into like a session, they say they get an outer body experience where they are
Hmm.
just observing life. And I think that's not what you're doing because you're not meditating, but it is just like you're so in the moment and so kind of just like taking your time that you are getting this moment of just like, is this really happening? And I think it's easy to fall in the trap of just questioning it and
Yeah.
thinking you're not relishing in the moment, but you are. And yeah, I think that's also kind of thanks to the fact that you did all of this work of just like, thinking about yourself, and not in a egotistical way, but of just like, making sure that you're in tune with yourself, that you're able to appreciate these moments.
Yeah. Yeah. And to navigate them in the best way for me and for my relationship, and not lose myself in it. It'll be interesting to see, because I'm assuming that motherhood would have like the same kind of, not sort of like reaction, or
Yeah,
sort of like the
effects.
same kind of feel effect, yeah,
Yeah.
of like, oh my God, there's this new creature in my life, this tiny little thing that I'm in charge of, and it's like it needs me to take care of it, to feed it, to bathe it, to keep it
To
safe. And
alive.
yeah, I mean, so that's like, I'm assuming, like another type of relationship that you would get that feeling. And it'd be interesting to see how you feel once
Yeah,
our
exactly.
precious little baby boy is born.
I
Ooh.
think I oh, there's a sneeze coming also. Look outside.
Oh,
Well, no sun.
yeah.
It looks
Oh,
sunny, but it's not. It's kind of that
mm,
glary thing.
yeah.
Um,
Well,
yeah, I think. Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, next time. I know. I think we might record. Yeah, we'll record another couple of times before I give birth,
yeah.
depending on when that happens. But I guess we'll see when once he's here how it's affecting me. But different people do it go at different paces, and when I'm saying I'm not slow paced, but I want to be. People who are not, I'm not saying if you're not slow paced, you need to slow down. I think if you're
Yeah.
happy, if that's your routine and your rhythm and things like that, then you just go for it.
Yeah. Bless you. Ooh, ooh. Bless
Sorry.
you. Yay.
Thank you. If you're kind of in the fast lane and you're enjoying it, then
Yeah.
great. Then that's great. And what I'm saying is that I have been in the fast lane for a while,
Yeah.
and for some time I've just kind of been like I need to slow down.
Hmm.
And it's been I think I've been needing and wanting to slow down for like a good year, like really. And it's just not been possible. Like in the past year, I've got found a new job, gotten pregnant, and moved.
That's a lot in 1 year.
And it's just and all of this happened like within a few months of each other.
Yeah.
And so I'm just feeling the need to slow down, and so that's what I'm doing. Uh, but if you don't need to feel the slow down, then don't. That's fine as well. Like,
Yeah. To each their own.
yeah, exactly. But make sure that you're feeling good in it.
Yeah. I think I probably said this at some point, but like I had this conversation with my best friend a while back, and she was saying, sometimes I feel jealous of of your lifestyle because it's so calm and quiet and it's so relaxed and it's so drama free. But then she was saying that to me, and I was like, yeah, but then you'd be really bored. You'd be very bored of
Yeah,
my lifestyle. And that's fine. It's not for everyone. And each person has their their thing and whatever makes them happy, and that's fine. And I think it's important to not look at someone else's life and the pace of it and try to fit themselves into that mold because they're saying that it's good for them. Although I think we
this,
all need to take a slow paced moment from time to time, but I don't think
yeah,
everyone is built for living the slow paced life.
yeah. That's exactly what I was. You like took the words out of my mouth. I
Oh,
think
sorry.
no, no, no. I mean, it's fine. I think it's the yin and yang. I think everybody
Yeah.
needs to slow down sometimes, and everybody needs to kind of speed up and be spontaneous sometimes.
Hmm.
And then you're the one who what because there's no light without darkness type of thing.
Hmm.
If you don't have
Yeah.
it's nighttime, then you can't really appreciate the sunlight and vice versa. And it's the same with the slow and fast life of just if you live in the fast lane, then just take a day in the month or in the week or whatever to just slow down and do nothing and just kind of like regroup. And same if you're somebody who lives a slow, who the slow pace, be spontaneous and do something and just kind of like have a day of just going fast and see how that feels. Makes you
Yeah.
appreciate even more going back to your normal lifestyle. It's kind of like, and then you can do this to any sort of scenario. Couples who live together, take a weekend away from each other and just have a bit of a break from each other, and couples who don't live together go on a holiday and spend all of your time together and just mix it up a little bit and make it which will make you appreciate your chosen lifestyle that much more. And I think that's the healthiest thing you can do. Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
and I think it's okay to change as well. You know,
Yeah. No, it's part of life, the
yeah,
change. And I think the more you fight it, the worse it's going to be, and the harder it will be to change. And, you know, I say when you fear change the most is also when you need it the most. And
Yeah.
instead of fighting against it, is just trying to go with it and adapt.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you say imposter syndrome, it's more of like a deep, profound questioning syndrome.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like the name that's stuck, feeling like suddenly like a stranger in my life. It's
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah, I guess that's what it is.
I'm
I
like
guess
playing
that's what it
pretend
is.
in someone's life. I don't know. Like this Freaky Friday kind of yeah. Anyway,
Anyway, so yeah, so I mean, let us know what you guys think about, like, are you in a relationship? Are you on the fast lane? Are you on the slower lifestyle?
yeah.
How do
Do you take time to take it all in and
they,
observe the changes in your life? Or do you just like snap and move
and
on to the
what
next thing?
scares you most? Slowing down or speeding up?
Yeah, it's a good one. Anyway, bye everyone.
Bye, everyone.